we interrupt our regularly scheduled renovation-themed programming to bring you this special New Year's message.
Happy New Year! One thing you should know about me is that New Year's Day is my absolute favorite holiday. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love baby Jesus as much as the next person, but New Year's Day is my most anticipated day of the year. And that's because to me, the new year represents a fresh start and an opportunity to evaluate my past successes and failures and reset with goals and resolutions to help me improve in the year to come. On January 1, the year is my oyster, and I truly believe anything is possible with a little planning and well thought out resolutions. As a New Year's enthusiast, I have come to observe there are basically three types of people in this world. One, those that are fundamentally opposed to making any New Year's resolutions. I've heard a number of different reasons those in this camp are opposed to claiming a resolution, but I can't even wrap my head around their reasoning, so I'm not even going to try to explain it here. Just know this type of person does exist. Number two, those that feel strongly that New Year's resolutions should be limited to 2 or 3 resolutions a year, and that those resolutions should be realistic, achievable, maintainable, and measurable. To be honest, this is probably the most popular group to be in and the most recommended for long-term success. And my head totally understands the thought behind this reasoning, but my heart lies firmly with group 3. Those that have 10 typed out pages of goals and resolutions subdivided into categories that represent every facet of one's life in an effort to improve or correct all of one's perceived shortcomings. Now I realize my group of resolution groupies totally stress out type 1 and type 2 people, but here's my rationale for having so many resolutions. Each year I sit down and examine or evaluate what I need to work on in each area of my life. For example, I have resolutions under the following categories: faith, family, friends, finances, health, and business. I then write out goals and resolutions within each of these categories that, if successful, would create what I believe would be the best version of myself. And each year on January 1st, I have complete confidence that this will be the year I achieve all my goals and resolutions. This wholehearted conviction is unwavering, despite the fact that in my 44 years of life, I have never made it to January 3rd with all my resolutions still intact. And if history repeats itself, I will have failed at 89% of my goals by March. So you might be asking yourself, if I know that there is a good chance I won't keep most of my resolutions, why do I not change my ways and make fewer resolutions? Well, I'll tell you. At the end of the year, I will look back at my 2023 goals and resolutions, and more than likely, I will have kept 2 or 3 of the 60+ resolutions I've made. But here's the clincher. Each year, I never know which 2 or 3 of the 60+ will stick. So what if I only made 2 or 3 resolutions, and the 2 or 3 I was actually going to keep didn't make the list? See, to me, this way I'm pretty much guaranteed I will be successful at something. For example, I think some version of limit or give up sodas was on my list for at least 10 years before it finally stuck in 2014. And I'm proud to say I have not had a sip of soda in 9 years. And I might never have read the entire Bible in a year if it had not been on my list in 2018. On the flip side, last year I wanted to work on my prayer life. Specifically, my goal was to become a prayer warrior. Prayer has always been a spiritual discipline I struggle with, so I came up with some resolutions to help me meet my goal. One of those goals was to start a prayer journal. Now, I'm sad to report that my consistency with keeping my prayer journal died off around March of last year. However, despite last year's failure, I'm hopeful 2023 will be the year that not only do I fill up several prayer journals, but that talking to God becomes as natural as breathing, and I truly understand the concept of praying without ceasing by the end of the year. Now here's the real reason I don't let past failures derail my enthusiasm for making unrealistic goals and resolutions. Deep down, I know that despite the best plans, I will never be perfect. That status was only ever achieved by Jesus Christ. And because Jesus came to earth and lived a perfect life, His unblemished sacrifice paid for my sins, so that I don't have to be perfect. I have a fresh slate every day. Lamentations 3:22 through 23 says, "The faithful love of the Lord never ends. His mercies never cease. Great is his faithfulness. His mercies begin afresh every morning." To me, New Year's Day allows me a time to stop and examine all my shortcomings and to reflect on what I think it would take in my human effort to remedy those failings. And then ultimately be reminded, despite my very best plans and effort, it is only by the grace and mercy of Jesus Christ that I will ever achieve perfection in the eyes of my Heavenly Father. That is truly worth celebrating. I hope you take the time to celebrate the fresh start you are given today, and that 2023 is the best year yet. Happy New Year! I hope you'll join me this year on the 1st and 15th of every month as I share with you what God is teaching me about renovation and restoration in my life, and how He wants to do the same for you.